Hello and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Millie and Happy New Year. If you're interested in this look, it will be up on my reels by the time this video goes up. And my earrings I will link down below. These were a Christmas gift from my mom and I'm so excited. If you don't know, I do love bunnies. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing the 2021 beauty resolutions tag that was just created by Mel Thompson. There are other beauty resolution tags that have been done before, but these questions in particular are her own. I was very excited to watch Mel's video and hear her talk about her beauty resolutions for 2021, and I found some of the questions definitely a little bit challenging, and I really had to think about my answers to the questions. And Mel's video will be linked down in the description box, of course, so make sure you check it out if you haven't seen it already. So question number one is something you do regularly in your makeup routine that you will try to stop. So this was one of the trickier questions, number one, and it's already tricky, and something I really thought about recently because I've been kind of doing it a little bit more. It's powdering my face, and for the last couple of years I've really mostly powdered just the perimeter of my face so that my hair wouldn't stick to it, because I absolutely hate that, and I do prefer dewier foundations even though I have slightly oily T-zone, and just in general I definitely produce quite a bit of oils, but I do like to only set on the outer perimeter and just embrace a more dewy natural look. So that being said, I would like to powder even less, not powder at all. The other day I did powder a bit more than usual and I just really hated the way it made my skin look. My skin just looked very dry and very tight, and I don't like that look at all. And I also find that if I do powder, especially near this area over here, then after I take my makeup off I have super dry and flaky skin from powdering, so I just really want to avoid it. So in 2021 I plan on pretty much only powdering under my eyes because that's where I get the most issue, and I definitely have to powder under my eyes, but really not so much anywhere else on my face. And then moving on to number two, a brand you will try for the first time, and that is Adept Cosmetics for sure. I do have a video up where I talk about brands I want to try in 2021, but Adept is really just number one on my list. I can't stop thinking about the plain Jane palette. I just really want it, and I might end up getting it. It's just full of shimmers, because if you've been on my channel you just know I love my sparkly, shifty, shiny eyeshadows, and they just really tempt me, and they just look so very beautiful. I've seen a couple of videos on them, and also I do want to try some of their mattes so that I can pair them with the shimmers, so they're absolutely number one on my list to try in 2021. Question number three is a brand that you will let go in 2021. This was also a little bit tricky because I mostly use indies, and I'm definitely not letting go of any indies. And otherwise, I feel like for face products, I kind of just use a very wide variety of different brands. And this is a brand that I have really stopped looking out for in 2021, and that's Anastasia Beverly Hills. First of all, they haven't really released anything interesting in 2021. They've really slowed it down after just really amping it up too much in 2020 and getting criticized, along with some other issues of not paying creators of what they're worth. And it is very shocking because I used to love ABH. I used to be always on the lookout for everything they release, especially eyeshadow palettes. I used to love their formula. I would think that it was probably one of the top formulas at the time that I was using them, but now I've definitely tried better formulas, way better shimmers, so I'm just not really interested in any of their eyeshadow palettes going forward or anything else. I did try some of their face products and stuff, and I just wasn't really a huge fan of any of that, so I don't really feel like I'm missing ABH in my collection. Like, I don't really feel like there's a hole and there's even a place for them to fit in, because I just have so many other great brands that I'm using products from. Oh my gosh, why did I decide to wear this? I'm sweating. Okay, so on to number four. What makeup technique would you like to learn or try once? And my answer to this is actually pretty contrary to my answer to number one, and that is the technique to powder before putting on foundation, especially for oily skin, which I do have, but I really just want to try this one time and see what the fuss is about. I've seen Jackie Aina do this a lot, and it just makes her skin look absolutely flawless, and I know she raves about the longevity of her foundation, so I really just want to try it just once and just suck it up. And I know my skin's probably going to be very dry afterwards, but I just want to try it. I just want to see what it is. Number five, a product that you will leave in 2020, and for me that is brow pomades. I just don't use them. I have one from ABH, and I think I have one from KVD, now Vegan Beauty or whatever, from a couple years ago. I just don't reach for them. I don't really care for them. I just felt like they were always fussy, and I was more likely to get a really thick blocked in looking brow. I just never could really get into them. I feel like I used them only because they were so hyped up on Instagram back when they came out, but nowadays I just find it so much easier to use some sort of like a soap brow and an eyebrow pen to create some brow hair strokes. It's just so much easier for me to do that than with a really thin, even angled brush for eyebrows. And I just can't even imagine brow pomades becoming popular again, so I'm totally fine with leaving that in 2020. Number 6 product you will give a second chance to, and that is the Copacetic Elysian palette. I tried it in the beginning of the year and had a really bad time with the matte eyeshadows. If you're interested in seeing my thoughts and the 2 looks I created with that palette, I will put it in the description box, but I had a really hard time and I just really want to try to make it work. I do love the shimmers and I love the color story and I love the layout of it, so I really just want to try to make it work, and I'm going to try many different eyeshadow primers that I have collected over the last year and see if it works on any of them. It's bound to work on one of them, so it's definitely something I'm going to be testing out in 2020 and just really trying to make the palette work. And then on to number 7, a resolution for your YouTube channel, and that is going to be editing and just getting better at editing, just adding a little fun things here and there. The main reason I don't really do anything fancy with editing is just purely based on the fact that I don't have time. By the time I film and I need to edit and I need to get the video up, and I also work a full-time job, it's just really hard to put in that time to really finesse editing. So I really just put in some fades in and out, but I do want to get a little bit fancier with my editing, especially now that I will be doing more tutorials. I just want to add a little bit of flair. Question number 8 is, do you have any skincare resolutions? Yes, I feel like I have definitely been neglecting my eye area, and that's something I've noticed. I just feel like I can see a lot more texture on my eyelids. I am going to be 30 next year, and I just feel like I need to pay attention more to my eye area, not just the top of my lid but also my under eye area, especially because I've done a lot of multiple looks one palette. I do a lot of eye swatches with multi-chromes, and just in general I kind of rub my eyes a lot basically. So I really would like to focus on taking better care of my eyes, and I definitely have been getting a lot lazier with putting on eye cream before I go to bed, or just in the morning or in between eye looks, just to get a little bit more moisture in. So that's definitely something I want to focus on, and then maybe revisit it at the end of next year and see if I've seen any improvement, because I did buy a new eye serum that I am trying out, so I'm really curious to see if there will be any improvement. And question number 9 is a YouTube beauty challenge you will partake in, and honestly I don't really know what challenges there are out there, so I had to actually go on YouTube and search beauty challenge because I'm not really sure what there is. So this is a challenge Rupi, my friend who also has a YouTube channel, did recently, and that is the left hand challenge, which is basically applying makeup with your left hand. And I'm definitely a very heavily righty kind of person, so it should be really interesting, and it looks like a really fun challenge. Rupi and I actually recently did a tiny hands challenge live stream, which was super fun, so this one is kind of along the same lines. And lastly, question number 10 is a beauty habit you need to stop this year, and this question I was completely stumped on and really had to think about. So I thought about something that I do when it comes to eyeshadows, and that is always going from light to dark. I have tried going from dark eyeshadows to light eyeshadows when it comes to certain formulas to try to get them to work. I'm looking at you, Ace Beauté, but I just feel like it's something that just goes against the grain for me, and I really want to expand the way I do eyeshadow and just not be afraid to try different things, and maybe try to make it feel more comfortable that I'm doing that. And so overall I think this would get me to come out of my comfort zone a little bit when it comes to eyeshadow application. And so that's all the questions. This was super fun, definitely challenging, and I'm excited to see at the end of 2021 how I did, if I actually kept up with these beauty resolutions. And of course make sure to check out Mel Thompson's original video and this tag, and I tag everybody. If you have a channel or if you don't, leave your answers in the comments. If you don't have a channel, I would love to know your answers for the 2021 beauty resolution tag. And that's everything for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribed. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.